Hello, good afternoon, 4B. Today is Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. I hope you're all doing well. Hello, Gianna. Who else is hiding in our chat here today? Chris and Pat and Will and Dan and Braden and Maria. What a wonderful bunch of people that we have here today. How is everyone doing? I really do hope you're doing well. Have a relatively light agenda. I just wanted to address some things on our calendar between now and what the rest of the year is shaping up to look like, and correct some things. I got some dates wrong big time, which is a little embarrassing, but want to talk about that. I want to, of course, offer any time for the pre-production worksheet help. Remember, it's going to be due by the end of class today. So if you're struggling or have some questions or need some help or guidance, we can talk about those issues and obstacles now and hopefully come up with some solutions. Had some good chats in my last period class. So we welcome Simi. Hello. Yes, Dan, they did. And with good reason. I support it 1,000%. I thought it was the right call to make because there is just too much going on in our country right now, and I agree with them that it is not the right time to celebrate anything with everything that's going on. So okay, so just to jump into some calendar things to go over real quick with you folks. And while I'm going over that, if you have questions about the assignment or need some help, throw those questions in the chat for me so I can address them when we're finished with the calendar. So today is June 2nd. As I said, we know our project is due at the end of the day on the 12th, which is not this Friday, but next Friday. But there is a slight interruption in our proceedings that I wanted to go over with you. Last class, I had made an incorrect statement that the last day of school was the 18th. It is not. It is, in fact, the 22nd. You should have received an email yesterday that gave you an outline for returning books and locker clean out and all that stuff, because that's going to take place the week of the 15th. So after our project is due, right? And each day is for a different grade level, and within that day, certain hours are for certain people. They organized it by just first letter of your last name. And so on these days that I had set aside for us to do our screening, you might unfortunately miss that time if that's your hour to go into the school. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. But this week obviously is going to be very light. The last day that we would have together is the 22nd, because I believe this is a B week. It is, because you guys actually have the project due on the day that I have class. My A day, I will see them Thursday, but it's still due Friday for them. So here's where there are some question marks in our calendar. All right. Next Wednesday It's set to be our first post-production question and answer help session. Um, I will not be available that day in the morning or early afternoon. I'll be heading into the high school. I have some things that I need to take care of and prep for graduation at the request of Dr. Ridley and Dr. Petrowski. And so I'm meeting with them at 10 a.m. on Wednesday for the remainder of the afternoon to discuss what graduation is going to look like and all that stuff. So that is a day, unfortunately, that I will not be hosting a class stream, which means that on Friday the 12th, that would be the only time that I would meet with you guys prior to the project being completed. So if you want some help early, all right, I would encourage you to get started on this as early as possible. But if you want to reach out to me, send me an email and say, hey, Mr. Leonard, I know you're not going to be holding class on Wednesday. I will open up my Tuesday and Thursday sessions for you guys. So if you know that on 8A your, second period class is not doing anything, or you have an assignment that is finished and you're not required for that hour to be with that teacher, if you want to email me and say, hey, Mr. Leonard, can I come to your 2A class to get some help? You are more than welcome to join those sessions if we need that. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that next Wednesday on the 10th, I will not be in front of my computer for most of the morning and afternoon. So if you want to join those sessions, you can. Friday the 12th, the due date or the time, and I haven't put anything on Classroom yet. I probably will Monday of next week, just as an opportunity for folks to, as they get things done, know that they can turn it in right away. There's no time for the 12th. Like, I don't need it by the end of class. I just need it by the end of the day. So if you want to turn it in at 11:59 p.m. Before midnight, go for it. I figured there would be no sense in me asking for it by 1 o'clock because I know that I'm not going to sit down to grade it until Saturday morning. So as long as I wake up Saturday morning and it's there, cool. That's fine. But just know that I can't take things late with this project because of the way that this week is going to work, right? Monday, seniors are turning in all their Chromebooks and books and things like that. So communication with them is going to be very difficult. And as you guys start to bring stuff in, it's going to be harder and harder. All right. And realistically, my grading will span into next week, and that's fine. It will mean that we still get the screen, and then hopefully on the 22nd, we'll get to enjoy the last session of time we have together. My disclaimer right now is that anything over the course of this month, I've been told, is subject to change for me personally because of what needs to be done for graduation. And so if there are changes in the schedule, I will let you know as soon as that I know and as soon as I'm allowed to say things to you guys. But hopefully there won't be too many interruptions. The one that I do know of for sure is next Wednesday. So be prepared either to reach out and get some extra help on Monday's class or Fridays, or Thursdays, I'm sorry. Thursday, wait a minute. Nope, yep, I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind. This Thursday or next Monday. But if you want to come to an 8A class session on Tuesday and Thursday of next week, you're more than welcome to. Just let me know. All right, and thankfully, as it stands now, the last hour of this school year, I will get to have with you guys, and that's really awesome. So I'm kind of excited about that. All right, I don't see any questions in the chat. Are you guys having an okay time with our assignment, with the worksheet? Did we have any issues coming up with questions? I can take a look at some stuff with you now if you're so inclined. Like I said, I will be grading these this afternoon. I'll probably break for lunch and then sit down to grade because I want to make sure that these get back into your possession with a thumbs up, thumbs down, make some changes, or you're good, so you feel more comfortable heading into production. But if anyone has any questions for me about the assignment or what they turned in, let me know. Be happy to look at that with you now and give you some advice and pointers. Because otherwise, I don't have too much of an itinerary for today. Today is just pretty much for assignment help and to make sure that you guys feel comfortable moving into the next week and a half of our time together for this project. All right. I understand that maybe this time around, unlike the start of our last project, you might have a lot more on your plate. So more than ever, the onus is on you to make sure that you guys are managing your schoolwork across the board as much as possible. Right, I don't know what other teachers are doing as far as final assignments, final projects, final tests or quizzes and things like that. And so, in May, you might have had a lighter schedule, but if every teacher has end of the year stuff that they're trying to get to you, you might get piled up on. And I would say that if you're sitting there saying, well, that hasn't happened, I'm good. It hasn't happened yet. All right. They might give you like a big assignment and say it's due in 2 classes. They may not think that it's going to take longer or that you've got other stuff going on. So I want to be very conscious of that, but you guys should be too, because outside of the sessions that we have for help and questions and answers, there's not much, it's on you to get done. So I just want to make sure you feel comfortable with it. If you're done with pre-production, can we get started with filming? Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to return the assignments to you guys this afternoon, but that shouldn't stop you from trying to line up some stuff as early as possible. So if you have family members that you want to interview early, do it. If you've got pictures that you can just start uploading to Google Drive, do it. And that would be the other piece of the puzzle to stay on top of it. If you shoot an interview, upload it to Google Drive as soon as you're done. If you are like lounging around watching TV at night and you have pictures on, like, go through your camera roll and upload stuff while you're watching TV. The last thing you want to do is kind of stockpile everything on your phone and then say, okay, I think I'll get to work. And then you have to upload everything and then wait for that to take place, because that might be an hour or two. And then you have to bring it into WeVideo, and that might be a half an hour. And then, your 2 hours of work is an hour and a half of uploading and transfer. Try and stay on top of stuff. In fact, if you can even stay on top of an edit, all right, you get an interview shot, it's uploaded, bring it in the WeVideo, start a project. Take out the chunks that you want, throw them in your timeline. And that way, hey, that edit, and that interview has got the pieces I want already out of it. And you may find that building an edit slowly over 2 weeks is going to be a little bit easier than sitting down with, 2 or 3 interviews and 100 pictures and B-roll clips and then saying, oh man, all right, I got to get started. Heck, if you know who you're interviewing already, go make your lower third graphics for them, right? Why not? If you got nothing to do, like, take care of that. No, Patrick. So the project requirements stipulated that you have 2. And one of them can be you. So if you're having some issue with that, email me. I had mentioned this last class. Like, that was the one requirement where, depending, like, circumstantially, right? You're saying you're an only child. That makes it hard to interview a sibling, of course. But like, let's talk and see if mom and dad are interested. There's some solutions we can work on there. You might need to do a little bit of the heavy lifting, but I would look back to the example we watched last class with Spencer and how he was in an interview with his mom, and he interviewed some classmates, but he was really the driving force behind that and did a good job there. The other option, and I gave this to someone yesterday, was if your parents don't want to be on camera, if you kind of said, hey, mom, what if I interviewed you, but we only heard your voice and you got rid of the video image and then you just used the voice, would that be okay? Because you can throw up, a picture of your mom, let's say, and, your lower third could be voice of, I don't know your mom's first name, Patrick, sorry, Mrs. Lane. And, we can hear that voice underneath, and then you can cut to B-roll like you normally would. It would just, not be the visual element with the video, and that could be okay too. So maybe that's a compromise for your parents. Someone said that worked for them. But if you need to, email me and we can kind of troubleshoot some solutions there. But for the worksheet, there's 3 spaces because some people are interviewing like 5 people and they've actually added some spaces. So I wanted to make sure that there was enough room for you there. But if you're just doing the minimum, which is 2, then you can leave the third one blank there. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Patrick, you got it, buddy. Anybody else having any issues, questions, hiccups, concerns about the worksheet? I see that I have it from Gianna and Maria and Braden and Dan. And is there anyone else in the stream? And Will. I have Will's. So Chris and Simi, Patty Ice. We're waiting on yours, but no rush. Oh, Pat just got his in. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I wasn't trying to push you guys. I just wanted to let you know whose I had and whose I didn't in case you thought you submitted and didn't. Gianna says nope. And I already forget the question I asked. God, this delay is terrible. Okay, so I'll say this. We did the calendar. Dan's leaving. Yeah, if you have your thing in and you want to get moving on either phase 2 or you're caught up and don't need any more help or have any questions, then feel free to head on out for the afternoon. Perfectly fine. I don't want to keep you here if you can make better use of your time. So Dan, at the very least, thank you for saying goodbye. Some people just bounce and don't say anything, and then I don't know that they're gone. So you take care as well, all right? And I'll see some folks for some post-production help on Thursday. That's what I figured what it was, Gianna. I'm sorry. I just was talking so much and forgot because I'm losing my brain. It's just gone. And then just know for the next few sessions that we have together, of course, I'm going to be starting on time. And then just kind of like the last project, if you need help, have questions, please come to those classes on time. Because if I go, like 30 minutes and no one's here or the chat's gone idle for a while because you popped in and asked a question and I answered it, but then you kind of like went off and didn't leave the chat and I may just end up, closing that stream down. It probably won't be any less than 25, 30 minutes. But if people are here working and chatting, then cool, we'll keep it going. So Simi, the project, you should be prepping like 3 to 5 questions because you want to make sure you're prepared, right? If you're going to ask, your parents to take some time out of their schedule to sit down and do this, you don't want to have to come back to them and say, I need more. You want to try and, like I would say, over-prepare yourself. And then it doesn't really matter how many of those questions work themselves into the edit. You may have a really great question, but you don't get the answer that you thought you would get. And so you don't want to put a bad answer in your interview. Conversely, you may ask a question and find that, you got an answer you didn't expect, and that might influence what else we see in that documentary. Or you might get a really great answer and then immediately think of a question that you didn't prepare. Ask it. You don't have to stick solely to your script. You can be inspired in that moment to ask something that you didn't plan for because you got an answer you didn't think of. So, but you want to be prepared enough to make sure that you're getting the best possible answers. And so if you have 5 questions and 2 of them are duds, That's much better than having 3 questions and 2 of them are duds, because then you're not getting a lot of stuff you can use. No ideas for a title? Like, no ideas? Um, well, I mean, is there a singular focus? I mean, obviously the focus is you, but is there like a specific part of your life that you're focusing on? Let me jump into your document here. Oh, so there is a singular focus. I can tell because I read 1 sentence of your treatment, and that's all it took for me to know. I think this is a really great topic, Gianna, and I'm really proud of you for being willing to talk about it. I think that's wonderful. That's awesome. And if you get a Zoom call with your doc, that's holy cow. This is great. That's going to be fantastic. I would obviously gear the title towards something about that. Uh, but like you obviously don't want it to be, like jokey or funny because I don't know if that fits the tone. Like I feel like this is going to be a very uplifting personal story. Um, I don't know. Let me think about that. When I run through these later, I'll see if I can jot some suggestions down for you. And I apologize to everyone else if that sounds really vague. I didn't want to out publicly what the focus was going to be about, just in case Gianna wasn't comfortable. So, um, yeah, no problem. Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm probably gonna break for lunch after our class, and then sit down and start to go through these and grade and score and all that jazz because I want to make sure that they're done so that you can move on and not go, well, Mr. Leonard didn't look at my pre-production thing yet. Anybody else? Any questions, issues, concerns? If you're good and moving on, cool. I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon. We'll touch base again, of course, on Thursday. You're welcome, Gianna. I'll make sure the doc gets back to you this afternoon, and I might have 1 or 2 suggestions in there. I'll give it some thought. That could be a tough one. I think this one might be it might be simple just to make sure it doesn't overshadow the message of your story. All right. I know some people trickle out. I'm going to stay for another 5 minutes. So if you got some questions, throw them in there. If not, then feel free to head on out. But around 12:30, I'm probably going to wind down and conclude the stream for the day. All right, Braden, adios. See you later. Maria, thank you. You too. Ooh, that was a good stretch. I like that. Can I do it with this leg, though? Not as well. Oh, and then there were three. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap up our stream for today. Remember, on Thursday we're gonna have our um, production and/or post-production help session. So whatever you guys need help with on that day, I will be here for that stream. Please make sure you're coming on time, because if you come in a little bit later, then it might be concluded by then. Um, you're welcome, Simi. Thank you. I hope you have a good day as well. All right. So we'll touch base with everyone on Thursday, and that'll trickle into next week where our project is due on Friday, the 12th. I'm going to say that date a lot so you guys remember, and we'll talk to you then. All right. Enjoy your afternoon. Be happy. Be healthy. See you soon.